sort of what Brook Farm means to you?
I suppose everything, really, because it's not just my history, it's my father's entire life, and my Uncle Jack, John Chapman, is his entire life as well. John Chapman and the Chapman family moved down from a place called Amcots up in Lincolnshire, which is in between Scunthorpe and Doncaster. They farmed up there, but they moved down as an entire family in the 30s. And they moved to Monk's Hardwick, which is the next farm over.
Mm-hmm.
And the father, Thomas Chapman, and the 3 sons and the 2 daughters, they stayed there until 1947. The 3 sons all wanted their own farms, so John Chapman moved to Brook Farm. In 1947, Joyce, she was Great Aunt Joyce, but only ever called Joyce, who was a tiny little lady. She came up from London during the war as a Land Army girl and stayed on. And John Chapman married Joyce in 1972. The reason they didn't get married and have any children before that is because John Chapman did marry a Sunday school teacher, and it didn't go very well at all, so they weren't married for very long, and she moved back up to Lincolnshire. He was still married up until 1972, which is when they changed the law on divorce, whereby he could divorce her, but they didn't have any children of their own.
Right.
Obviously, one of his sisters was Maud Osborne, which was my grandmother, and the eldest son was John Osborne, my father, and my Uncle Jack, as he was always known, took father under his wing from a very young age on the farm.
Wow. And
then took him into partnership, and that's why we still trade as John Chapman Osborne. Even before my father moved here in 1972, I can remember, I'm old enough to remember sitting in the kitchen on a big oak table, as a toddler before I could even walk.
Yeah.
When my great uncle Jack and Joyce lived here. So yeah, it's not just my lifetime's work, it's my father's lifetime work and my Uncle Jack's lifetime work as well. So walking away from it all, yes, there is a sentimental side to it, but I've accepted the fact I'm not going to be a farmer forever.
How do you feel about leaving Brook Farm?
I don't really know until the time comes.
Yeah,
I'm trying to put the sentimental side of it to one side, because I'm only a tenant farmer here. I don't own the land, and if I can reach a settlement whereby I can retire early, which will free up a lot of my time and I can spend more time on holiday, then I will do. But I don't want to be here anyway, in any event. I don't want to be here in my 70s trying to do everything. I probably wouldn't do that. I could possibly contract out the work, etc. But then if you're getting somebody else to do all the work, you're not a farmer, are you? So what's the point?
If we get to a point where the Bloor homes start building on the land,
that's a constant source of discussion between my wife and I, because she's made this her home as well.
Sure.
And it's been my home for as long as I can remember, even though I've moved out and come back, but it's always been.
Yeah.
We have even discussed, because our lounge faces the fields out there, would we want to sit there watching them build all over the farm? Probably not. But at the end of the day, they are still building there. There'll still be a housing estate right on my doorstep, which will involve inevitably members of the public just wandering about. So I've kind of accepted the fact that it will probably be time to draw a line under it, and we will probably stay in St Neots, but move into possibly a bungalow somewhere.